My name's Aoife McCrory. I'm 23 years old and I'm a social worker from just outside Belfast. I graduated from Queen's University Belfast in summer 2016. I suppose the reason I originally applied was I have this inherent need and want to help people and to work with people to get solutions and to just kind of try and make their lives better. So that's why I got into it in the first place. Queen's also has a really good reputation, and a reputation as an academic university, and I sat here on graduation day in the Whitla Hall and listened to the late Vice Chancellor Patrick Johnson talk about the elite alumni of Queen's and what that offered you on an international stage, and the doors that opened for you, and it really rung home for me. And if I had to choose it again, I would choose Queen's. Part of the course I enjoyed the most was the 2 practice learning opportunities we got. So you got to go on placement twice. First time in the August of your second year and then the January of your third year. My first placement was in a daycare facility for adults with learning disabilities, and my second placement was in the Juvenile Justice Centre that we have here in Northern Ireland. Both were based in residential or daycare settings, so I got a real opportunity to build relationships, to form relationships, to kind of do those long pieces of work and those sustained pieces of work. And whilst I'm now working in a fieldwork setting, those skills are very transferable, and a lot of the time my positive feedback on placement was about the time that I afforded to people and just sitting and listening before I was jumping in with things to do or how to make things any better. So that's something that I have still stuck to now, that if I'm out on a visit with a family or with a child, that's their time, and I'm 100% theirs during that time. And I suppose that also helps me that I know when I'm in work I've given it 110%, so that when I come home I can switch off, and I can switch off comfortably knowing that I've done everything that I can during my working day. So we were very lucky in that we had our own personal tutor group with like 10 people in it, so you had that very individualised support, and people and a tutor who knew what you liked or what you needed more support with, and there was always courses running in terms of like referencing and things that you wouldn't have done at school, and there was always opportunities for you to get more support with your assignments, and there was also a good social life at Queen's as well. Since I graduated, I've been very lucky to have been in employment. I started my employment with the Probation Board for Northern Ireland. I worked in McCrory Prison as a probation officer for 6 months. I then moved to the Northern Health and Social Care Trust, worked in a 16+ team for 2 months, and now work in the Family Support and Intervention team. And I've worked there for a year now, and it's my permanent post. And it's very interesting because the things that we were learning about in university, the up and coming things, and the way practice would move forward, are now all the things that I'm going on training for. They're all the things that we're learning about, and it feels like as someone who went to Queen's, I have that little bit of a step. And I remember thinking, oh, they talked about that in uni, we did a lecture on that, so it feels like we've got a little bit of a head start. But as I say, I've been working there for about a year now, and I think I'll settle there for a while. Social work is one of the toughest professions. I came into social work at 18, I graduated at 21, and I have been working ever since in tough settings, but albeit in settings that I love. Social work in itself is a very rewarding profession. When you have young people want to come and see you, and when you have families who, when you started working with them, could have thrown you out of the house, but at the end we're offering you tea and saying thank you, that's a big victory. And you learn to accept that people's lives aren't going to be the same as yours, but that's what makes our world so diverse and so brilliant. So one of the most rewarding professions, and a profession that I hope that I'm still in many years to come.